Good afternoon. You are tuning into O&M Live Netball, kindly brought to you by McRae Motors. I'm Ree Harris. It's round 13 and already we're into the final third of the competition draw. Today seeing the Wangaratta Rovers playing host to the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. As always, good afternoon to you, Tam Matthews.
Good afternoon, Ree. We have a nicer day today.
Much nicer. A bit of sunshine and our first broadcast game at the Rovers ground for the season, and it's lovely, and we can see that the Rovers girls are donning the Indigenous strips again, which, as Trav and I were walking down earlier, we were just saying how really beautiful they are, and for every club that has got the opportunity, but really nice that they're wearing them again on their home court.
Yeah, they look fantastic, don't they? And it is great to see all the clubs really participating and endorsing the Indigenous around the way they have.
We acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we broadcast from, the Yorta Yorta people, paying respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and extending this respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today and tuning into the broadcast at any time. Last week we did see the league commemorate its Indigenous round, and we saw the footballers and netballers don uniforms or playing patches, and it was a fabulous representation of the Indigenous culture and heritage in the areas, and the competition stretches into. So clubs, is it anyone can wear them again this week? Is it kind of their discretion, or home games they may have chosen to don the dresses again?
Yeah, look, that's right. If clubs wanted to wear them for their home game, or as you said, wear them for a second week, the patches, then absolutely the league would be certainly endorsing that and
I think
and encouraging that.
As we said last week, like Wangaratta is such a good away strip, should we say it, that just make those clash strips a little bit easier to recognise for the players and those people watching.
Yeah, for sure.
As we speak about last week, the match of the round was certainly the game that we were at, Wangaratta and Yarrawonga, which is a possible finals match in itself. Wang really hit the ground running, and they had that 5-goal lead at quarter time, but a couple of key changes to the Yarrawonga lineup saw a 9-goal turnaround from them in one quarter. Yeah,
they did. They really jumped out of the blocks and started well, and I was chatting to Julie Hornweg after the game, who was supporting them on the sideline, and she was having a bit of a laugh because she had said to the girls that they really need to start well, and their feedback to her after the game was, you didn't tell us we had to play out the second, third and fourth quarters really well. She said, yes, my mistake. But they were able to laugh about that. But, I think both teams were able to make a lot of changes, and I think that just shows the flexibility and the depth that they both have. And I think that's the strength that both those sides have coming into finals and for the rest of the season. So neither coach was afraid to make those changes. They obviously have great trust in all their players, and that's, like I said, I think a really great strength that they have.
And we spoke about, and the best players were Laura Davis and Emily McNamara for Yarrawonga. We gave our player of the day to Hannah Symes, but I thought Emily McNamara, for one of her first performances on the A-grade court that we were witness to, really held her own in that wing attack position.
She really did, and I think she adjusted very quickly to the pace of the game and the players around her, and I have no doubt that she probably spends a lot of time with those players at training. She's obviously a very, intelligent netballer herself, and she's got some really smart players around her that were able to bring her in and guide her into position on the court as that game progressed. And like as you said, she really stood up strongly. On the day we talked, about Hannah Symes and the strength that she had in defence, and just her ability to come out hunting but pull in those was really powerful. Kylie Tyrrell took a big fall, so it'll be interesting to see whether she starts today. She was very sore after the game, and that was when she went into centre. That wasn't when she was back in defence. So we saw the flexibility they have in being able to move her into the mid-court. And then likewise the move that they made when they moved Sarah Moore from wing attack to goals, and that really changed, I think, things for Yarrawonga, just her ability to change up that play. And again, talking to Julie after the game, and she just kept shaking her head saying, how does she continue to find the ball? Every time they looked up, Sarah Moore had that ball again. So it just continues to find space, and I guess it's that ability to read the play and to time it, and as I said, find the space.
And the defensive unit for the Magpies, Brooke Price given their second best, Hannah Grady, who was goal defence, swung into wing defence, and then Katie Dean, always reliable, those three. And I think Brooke Price brings another element to them. She's probably a little bit more of a physical presence in that circle. But again, she got a couple of tips off the ball that were really fantastic and put them in good stead going forward. In the other games, Lavington had a comprehensive win over Rovers, who we'll see today, 60-31. And Taylor Ferbra in defence and Kate Mastronardi named in their best players. Interestingly, though, they had over 90 shots on goal. So I think Coach Linda Charlton will be wanting them to really change that and make sure that that percentage, because that's a lot of defensive ball being turned over, as well as their own centres that obviously haven't been converted. They'll be wanting to get that percentage up today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's probably similar to what we've spoken about with Myrtleford. You know, come finals, those missed attempts games. You know, when you're coming up against a Yarrawonga and a Wangaratta, they are not going to give you second opportunities. So, you know, 93 attempts, that is a massive amount of attempts to then only score at 60 goals. So I think they would be looking today at scoring at a much higher percentage. Obviously, I would assume that Christine would have rebounded a lot of those herself, and some of those may have just been little balls that have popped back out to herself. Liv Sanson tends to take a lot more of a longer range shot. So perhaps some of the misses may have been more of those long-range balls too. And we know the strength that Molly Murray has in the air. We've seen, you know, some of her great defensive performances. So, you know, credit to the Wang defenders too, that they were able to put enough pressure on Lavington to force those misses.
Absolutely. In the other games, North Albury, a 10-goal win over Albury. Only one goal separated them at quarter time, and then it was all North Albury's favour. And I think notable inclusion of M. Brown makes such a difference on court to the Hoppers, but they'll be really pleased to get that win. Still well out of the 5, but we'll want to just be contesting for the rest of the season. And then Raiders and Wodonga, the Wodonga Derby, Raiders 71-38. And the stat that I found the most interesting was Emily Stewart out in goal attack, 36 goals, Taylor Donlan in goal shooter, 35. You don't often see a goal attack outscore a goal shooter.
No, you don't, but I think this is one of the real strengths that Raiders have, and that they have really worked hard at trying to achieve, and that is that two-pronged attack, not having so much focus on one shooter, not becoming really one-dimensional, giving a lot of confidence to Em Stewart. We know what she can do. We've seen it. You've seen it firsthand at Interleague and at representative netball. She can be really dynamic and powerful when she's on and when she's got her confidence up. And I think if they can come into finals with those two on fire, that makes them really, really dangerous to opposition teams. And today will be really interesting to see how that goes, because you know, you would assume Hannah Symes is going to make life really difficult for Taylor Donlan. If Kylie Leslie matches up on Em Stewart, what a fantastic battle that's going to be. And it will really be if Kylie Leslie can shut down Em Stewart today.
Absolutely. And last time they met, Raiders were in front for a big part of the game as well, and then Yarrawonga came home with a wet sail. So very, very interesting, and we'll keep you posted on those scores. Today's team cards, we will start with the home team, the Wangaratta Rovers, coached by Gracie Reid. We'll see Rebecca Krelcham in goal shooter, joined by sister Samantha Krelcham in goal attack, Gracie Reid in wing attack, Bryony Simpson in centre, Ella Masters in wing defence, Molly Murray in goal defence, and Kelsey Wilson in goalkeeper, with Sky Fulton on the bench. We've spoken about the Rovers, a very young team, a very up-and-coming team, but I think the experience comes in the sister combination in that shooting circle, and they can be really lethal.
Yeah, they absolutely can. Just the little passes and that instinctive know where each other are is really hard to stop. And when they are on, they are really on, and it can make them really dangerous too. And they have great speed. Their release and the ball delivery to each other can be really hard to stop.
And very good on home soil. I've played against them here before as well, and they love being at home and playing well at home. And the other key matchup, I think, will be the wing attack of Gracie Reid coming up against the wing defence for the Saints in Georgia Ryan. I think Georgia will have her hands full. Gracie is quite whippy and really quick, and she can deliver a really lethal pass into that circle. She
will, and I think Georgia's probably going to have to allow her to get that first ball high and then stop that second drive and stop any of those give and goes, because Gracie is exceptionally quick, and Georgia may not match her for speed on that first ball. So the job, I think, is going to have to be stop that give and go, allow her to get it high probably, and try and keep her high and out of the transverse area and out of the top of the circle, where she's really dangerous.
And for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, coached by co-coaches in Liv Lespina and Tina Way, they will start with a very traditional lineup for them. Goal shooter Rebecca Piazza, goal attack Sally Botter, wing attack Liv Lespina, centre Sage Bros, wing defence Georgia Ryan, with Tina Way in goal defence and Sophie Hanrahan in goalkeeper, with the youngster in Evie Hughes on the bench. I think this is their go-to starting 7. We may see Soph swing down into the shooting lineup, but I mentioned on the show with Robbie and Gus earlier this morning, I think they'll really want to capitalise with attacking ball. I think we've seen a few elements where they've actually thrown attacking ball away.
Yep, I would agree. I think, like I said before with Lavington, there is another side who aren't going to get chances come finals and against these top sides. They get a lot of the ball. You only have to look at the ladder to see how strong they are defensively, but they're not converting the ball that they're getting, and that is going to hurt them against the best sides come finals time. They are going to have to convert more ball if they are going to want to progress through the finals. So today and this back end of the season is an opportunity for them to really work on some systems and really look at converting the ball, making sure that they're using I guess more effective ways to reach circle edge. They often will move it to the transverse very effectively, and then it starts to get a bit congested through the top of the circle. So working out, I guess, their positioning around the circle, and then it's the balance in the circle between Sally and between Beck.
Yeah, well, and just looking over there, their lineup has changed since what I read last night. So it looks like Beck Piazza will be starting goalkeeper, Sophie Hanrahan in goal shooter, and Evie Hughes in centre, which I think brings Sage Bros into wing attack. I can't see
and it's funny. I think they go to Sophie when they want quick high scoring.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I've lost the
Looking
words
to-
there. Yeah, when
Looking
they
to get started nice and quickly.
Yeah,
today.
yeah. So I wonder if they've put Sophie there to try and get some really fast-flowing goals going. So interesting, and they're starting Evie Hughes centre. So a change up there, Liv Lesman onto the bench. So look, they've changed up their starting 7. And
But
look, why
a
not?
combination we've seen before as well.
It is, absolutely. I think for Myrtleford, the challenge for them over the next few weeks is to really look at putting together 4 solid, consistent quarters. That is what they need to start to work on, the back end of the finals. They have a really tough last few games heading into finals, which is probably going to suit them well. And so I think the next few weeks they really need to start building for that.
We'll touch on the road to finals as the day goes on and as our game progresses, because there are a few interesting things to come, and we can see that there's a couple of different faces on the court for the Rovers as well. So Sophie Larkin is in centre for the Rovers and gets us underway here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Bryony Simpson in wing defence, Molly Murray in goal defence, and Sky Fulton in goalkeeper. So apologies to the Rovers. Some different personnel than we were expecting. The Krelcham lines up. Long bomb, can't quite get hands, and a great try from Sister Krelcham to get a tip, but Tina Way just in front and had the possession call. Hughes to Bros. A good pick up there from Hughes.
And good hands by Simpson. Was able to deflect it, but not able to pull the ball in. So Myrtleford with the ball will look to go forward. Great ball from Georgia Ryan, finds Evie Hughes in the pocket, and she finds Hanrahan under the post. So Myrtleford on the board first.
And Hughes gets us underway here. Way, high ball to Botter, right under the post, and Sally Botter, second goal for the Saints here. First quarter action thanks to Cavalier Holmes. Oh, tip on the ball from Botter nearly again, and we can see a bit of this press coming, but the Saints have gone back to a one-on-one situation. Way, a hand in the ball, but Rovers make no doubt their first goal here in this first quarter. High ball into Hanrahan. Instruction there from Fulton has her out of play, and Hanrahan with her second goal of this first quarter. Piazza going for the intercept, but not quite quick enough. Sammy Krelcham, dead-eye again to start the morning.
So Hughes, quick ball to Sage Bros off the line. She was explosive in that case there. Hanrahan has to go back to the transverse, but Myrtleford move it quickly and they're back in the pocket. The umpires found obstruction call on Murray inside the circle, and Botter finds Hanrahan under the post. So moving it fairly quickly here in the early stage of the game, Myrtleford. And they move out to a 4 goals leading the Wang Rovers, 2 goals here on the 777 automotive scoreboard.
pull in there from Hanrahan. A little bit unsteady, and the footwork call going the way of the Rovers. Murray to Larkin. Fulton, high ball, cross court. Great pull in from Georgia Ryan. Evie Hughes, lots of space in front of her.
And a great matchup there, Hughes and Larkin, 2 youngsters on each other. I'm sure they've probably played on each other before.
Hughes to Bros. Bounce pass to Botter. And that real height advantage for Soph Hanrahan in that circle.
And just the experience, she's able to get both those defenders in the front space and give herself all that room behind her to drop into there.
Tina Way, breaking call, just a little bit too quick in jumping the line. See the 4 defenders here, each kind of taking a quadrant of the court. And Crelcham's on her own on the baseline, but can't get past the hands of Piazza. Beck to Samantha, back to Beck.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's a short shot. The refeed going in, but just a little bit too much on it. So Piazza with the ball on the baseline, far side of the court to us. Way stepping on. Great defence from the Rovers, really slowing the Saints' drive down, but they are on their transverse line into their attacking third now. Hughes in the pocket. Great release from the youngster.
And vision to find Hanrahan under
and
the
another
post.
youngster as well, Murray. 2 hands on that. A great pull in from her. Bryony Simpson, the experienced campaigner in that defensive end for the Rovers. Space opens up. Great work from Reed there.
And again, good vision by Crelsham to find Reed down the court and release that ball.
A great triangle from the Rovers there. And that was really good from Beck Crelcham to call for the ball at the top of the circle, got the Saints defenders out of the way so the ball could go a little bit clearer into sister Sammy Crelcham, and they're up to 3 here on the 777 automotive scoreboard.
So back to Ryan, Myrtleford being held up here by Rovers defence. Before the ball opens up and the umpires found obstruction call inside the circle. So Botter looking at Hanrahan, she's begging for it before the umpire finds a penalty, and will reward her with a shot under the post. She makes no mistake. So Myrtleford out to 7, leading the Rovers 3. It's a Rovers centre, and the penalty's been found on the line. So Murray for the Rovers looks and finds Beck Crelsham coming through the centre, opens it up nicely, and unfortunately the pass just can't come off, but the umpires found a contact call.
Probably can't afford to do that with that height differential. Sammy Crelcham stood up beautifully and strong then, but there's only so many times you can take those little knocks. So 7 goals to 4 here, the lead to the Saints. Ball's brought back to the transverse line for an obstruction call, so there's a 2-on-1, the favour of the Saints. Experience play there from Botter to Hanrahan. A quick goal from the Saints takes them up to 8 here on the 777 automotive scoreboard. Nearly 6 minutes have been played out thanks to McRae Motors.
You can see the defensive pressure of Myrtleford forces the turnover. So Bros coming through the mid-court, the ball for the Myrtleford Saints. And Evie Hughes, great ball release. She's really siding Hanrahan early under that post. She misses the goal, able to rebound, comes back in off court, gets her own rebound and makes no mistake that time. So the connection between Hughes and Hanrahan is really impressive down there as Myrtleford move out to a 9-goal, leading the Rovers 4. Hanrahan again with the ball. And a great tip by Molly Murray and chasing it down, which was even more impressive.
Oh, Larkin, the ball just put behind her there. She was on her own, but just a little bit of a late pass, and the ball really needed to go out in front to keep her moving forward. So the Saints look to capitalise here and take themselves to double figures, and they do. 10 goals the lead here. Plays 4 on the 777 automotive scoreboard. Larkin to Crelcham. And the press again by the Saints is on Beck Crelcham, trying to split that line. Double defence there. Well done from Gracie Reed to not go offside.
Oh, and Sammy Crelsham, she's throwing everything at that ball. She comes up with the penalty. Too far out to score, has to swing it out to Larkin, and she finds Beck Crelsham in the front position. She's going to take the long-range shot and makes no mistake. Why wouldn't you when you can sink it like that? So Rovers move out to 5, trailing the Myrtleford Saints. 10 goals here. Sage Bros off the line, eventually able to receive it. So Rovers' pressures is impressive off that transverse line, but Myrtleford able to break through eventually.
Both shooters there presenting front on the baseline, and Hanrahan falling out of court.
Is there anything she can't
But
do?
it doesn't matter. They go to 11 here. Reed having to do quite a bit of work to get out of the space of Ryan. And again, the press is on every Myrtleford player, just finding a little bit of space to confuse what had been. On the hands from Larkin. There was the interference from Hughes, so Rovers with the opportunity here. Great jump from Piazza, but Sammy Krolchen makes no doubt 6 goals, sorry, the Rovers are up to here, trailing by 5.
And Hughes looks to swing it to Bros, but yeah, Simpson in a great position to turn that ball. And Rovers have moved that ball exceptionally quick down, and they're in their goal circle. Racy Reed has forced a penalty inside the circle, so Sammy finds Sister Beck Krolsham under the post, and she scores for Rovers. So Rovers move to 7, trailing Myrtleford 11 goals here on the 777 automotive score clock, and it's a Rovers centre. So they're looking to narrow this margin late in the first quarter.
Reed really working this side of the circle, but Saints, can they capitalise here? Hughes very deep in that third, and a great feed again to the fading Hanrahan on the baseline, taking the Saints up to 12 on the 777 automotive scoreboard. First quarter action thanks to Cavalier Homes' Botter, high ball from the transverse into Hanrahan. Rovers girls in the right position there for the scraps, and they're on the drive again. Reed.
Oh, and Piazza thought about it, didn't she? She came out but didn't commit either way, and Reed was able to
finish there from Beck.
Yeah, but Reed was able to pull it in and knew she had Beck Krolsham home all alone. Rovers finishing off nicely as Reed takes the ball off the centre pass. They forced to go back here. Myrtleford, hands over everything. And just being held up here, Rovers in the circle. Beck Krolsham has it. She looks for the refeed. The long one wasn't on there.
Well done from Larkin, and then to not get sucked into the baseline to pop the ball in over height, but a held ball instead. Well done defensively to the Saints. Hughes centering ball to Botter. Bros is off circle edge, so opts not to feed. Stepping in from that penalty. Flat ball into Hanrahan. The hands of Fulton. Enough to put her off the shot, but not enough for the rebound. They're up to 13 here, leading the Rovers 8 on the 777 automotive scoreboard.
And a breaking call made. So Rovers an opportunity to get one back here. Great give and go by Simpson. Finds Beck Krolsham coming out, but not enough on it. And Georgia Ryan in a great front position there on the circle. Forces a turnover, and Beck Piazza on the ball by Murray. She pleaded, but the umpire said no.
She knew straight away that was a little bit of a contact call, and Hanrahan takes the Saints up to 15. Larkin with the centre here. Piazza read that one really well. Couldn't quite get two hands to it. Put doubt in the Rovers' mind, but the Rovers with the throw in. Reed looking for someone coming forwards. Hughes the a very deceiving Molly Murray's, but a lovely shot there from Botter takes the Saints up to 16 on the 777 automotive scoreboard. Umpire just calls a quick time, a couple of plays in the road on the sideline there.
Getting in her way.
A high ball from Hughes.
And a great screen by Hanrahan allows Botter to have that back space, but the umpires also found a contact or a holding call. So Hanrahan puts another one on the board for the Myrtleford Saints, and it's a Rovers centre. So not long left in this quarter, Ree.
About a minute to go, and it was really interesting on that centre pass just then. 2 minutes, sorry. How high a teen away for Sammy Krelchum to go to even drive out for that ball. So she's so far away from home. Reed at 10 o'clock on the circle edge. Contact. Oh, they are the quick hands between those two sisters, and a great goal to finish, taking the Rovers up to 10, trailing the Saints 17. Hughes again. Oh, lands, looks, delivers, and a finish there from Hanrahan.
And Ree, in our other game that we said would be a cracker, Yarrawonga and Raiders, it's 10 goals apiece. So as expected, a tight one over at Yarrawonga.
Larkin, great drive there, straight through that centre channel, hit it of way, nearly.
And Wodonga running
through
with Lavington, 17 goals.
The road really worked that one well, but centre pass goes 1-2 into the circle. Hughes again balks and then delivers the ball. Hanrahan with a miss. Fulton with the rebound for the Rovers. Can they get a goal late here in this first quarter? Oh, not enough on it was the ball from Murray. Botter to Bros. Hanrahan with the roll on the baseline. All arms from the Rovers are up, and they get the turnover again. So can we see a late reply here from the Rovers? Fulton looking for someone. Murray opts to not pass there. There's an obstruction. Fulton, the press through this centre channel, centre third, I should say, sorry, from the Saints. Rovers, Larkin gives to Sammy Krelchum, that is. Belt Krelchum on the baseline and just
went out of time.
Oh, it would have been a great goal. So quarter time here, Myrtleford leading 18 goals to 11. This is O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Recognise this face? I've been in more beer ads than anyone else, and all I'm told to do is smile, sip and laugh a bit.
0.0% alcohol?
This changes everything.
I can swim! I can upgrade heavy machinery!
I can actually drive!
Onwards, beer drinkers!
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
From entertainment to news and subscriptions in between. Manage select subscriptions in one place with Optus SubHub. Streamline your paid subscriptions and save up to 10%. It starts with yes.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Welcome back to O&M Live Netball, coming to you from the WJ Finlay Oval in Wangaratta. Rovers trailing the Alpine Saints by 7, 11 plays 18 here. Blistering first quarter, lots of goals scored, and we can see a few changes on court for both teams. Notably into wing attack is Ellie Miller for the Rovers, the youngster making her debut, and the Saints off the Rovers centre pass have forced the error. And the only change for the Saints on court is Lespina entering the court in wing attack, making that swap with Bros and Sally Botter, getting the Saints underway in this second quarter. Gracie Reid has gone to centre for the Rovers in the defence end, just this positional swap between Fulton and Murray, and I think that's probably that height differential there between Murray and Hanrahan.
Murray and Hanrahan aren't dissimilar in terms of the way they look. Their hair's quite the same, and yeah.
Up to 20.
But how wonderful for Rovers, another young debutante coming onto the court in Ellie Miller, up from their 17. So great to see that they've got these young players that are coming through and getting this opportunity and experience in A grade, and it will hold them in such good stead, you know, down the track if they can keep these girls together.
Absolutely, and we were saying that it can be so tough for a couple of seasons with such a young team, but you look at the likes of Wang Magpies, Wodonga Raiders, they've battled with a young team for a couple of years to get that experience, and now they're really being competitive. And a great turnover there from the youngster in Fulton. Yep,
North Albury are a young side, bringing them through, and I think, look, sometimes it's easier to transition from 17s to A grade. Whilst the pace is quicker, I think it's sometimes a cleaner and more skilled game than perhaps coming through your senior B grade.
The Rovers there not making the most of their own centre pass.
Oh, and unfortunate there.
Unforced error there from the Saints, just a little bit too much on it. Murray stepping up to the baseline, gives the throw in to Fulton. The press here again, you can see the Saints all talking, and it's just a sea of red through that centre third.
Oh,
Ryan.
Great tip, but not able to pull it in, and so Reid pounces on that on the circle edge, and Sammy Krolsham out.
Oh, the heel must have just been out on the baseline. Disappointing.
So Hughes, wrong one foot.
There.
Finds Ryan. Finds
Lespina.
Lespina.
Murray again getting that hand to ball, but just can't quite pull it in. Botter though can't pull in the rebound off Hanrahan's missed shot. So the Rovers go again. Can they break this zone through the middle? Fulton having to look sideways a couple of times.
They just need to step up and find a play. They're going back in behind the press, and there's nowhere for them to go to. Get in front, find a player and step onto that ball, and then look over the back. And there it is, Sammy Krolsham out the back, and they're able to break that press there that time. So Beck Krolsham finds Reid on top of the circle, and a quick give and go, but a tap by Georgia Ryan, and the contact call is made. And a great pass from Reid finds Beck Krolsham on the baseline before she scores. So Rovers move to 13, trailing Myrtleford 21 here on the McRae Motors scoreboard.
Liv Lespina to Hughes. Great base drive there from Sally Botter, finishing that off with the Saints' 22nd goal here on the McRae Motors scoreboard.
And Lespina just gone for a number 3 in the spray tanning booth this week, she said. After
great goal there from Beck Krolsham.
No ball tonight, so she said she's backed off a little bit.
Haven't we all? Botter gives off to Lespina on the transverse, back to Botter. Rovers taking a player each. Reid went top
on Hanrahan, not able to pull it in. And great watch there by Fulton. Unfortunately, too big on the pass there to Simpson, and Myrtleford picking up the scraps, and the umpires found a contact call inside the circle. So Botter takes the shot, went to take the shot, but decided to go over to Hanrahan, who was under the post, and Myrtleford put another on the board. So they moved to 23, leading the Rovers here 14.
And a breaking call, just that half a second too soon. Fulton, great finishing speed there coming through with the tip.
And that's just experience, and that's just someone on the sideline saying to her, now come off the line and reset and try something different rather than getting sucked into that pressure of Georgia Ryan forcing that break.
Hanrahan.
And Rovers have got Mina Lamb, Stacey Lamb over on the sideline. She'll be talking to Ellie there and helping her out, so that's great for them that they've got her there as well. There's Evie Hughes, finds
Nice little
so
change
Hanrahan.
up there too, to not go the high ball, to put in the bounce pass,
yes, she did.
knowing that Murray was really right behind Hanrahan, and Botter finishes with the 25th goal.
And there we
for
are.
the
Well
Saints.
done, Ellie Miller. So she started off the line there. She changed up her attacking move, put in a double dodge, and was able to get that ball cleanly off the line. And Rovers, good attacking play, finds Beck Krolsham under the circle and a quick score. So good play by Ellie Miller there to adjust what she did.
About 6 minutes have been played here on the McRae Motors time clock. Well into this second quarter. The obstruction call arms just coming around. Hanrahan, the high ball from Botter. Gets her own rebound and converts, taking the Saints up to 26, leading the Rovers 15 here on the McRae Motors scoreboard.
And deep into the sideline there, Sammy Krolsham finds Ellie Miller. Great give and go to Beck Krolsham.
Way try to base a little bit of an obstruction there. And the Krolsham sisters.
So some better connections, those last two centre from Rovers, and a bit faster ball release and better timing has allowed that. So Myrtleford here, Botter finds Hanrahan, give and go. Lespina's ball at the top of the circle and finds Hanrahan, but a stepping call. So footwork, I guess she's not used to having to do that too often, is she, Hanrahan? So Rovers again being held up here by the press, and Simpson very close to the line, but great offload finds Miller, and again beautiful vision to Sammy Krolsham cross court. And
again, great triangle there from the Rovers, set up by Gracie Reid. Takes them up to 17, so the lead is 9 to the Saints with the Rovers centre pass to come. Breaking again, hurts the Rovers. Ryan to Lespina. Hughes, high ball into Hanrahan. Sinking it back out to 10-27, plays 17. Interestingly, I was saying to you on the phone last night, Tam, I found the 2013 Premiership Grand Final Day critic. Mum and Dad had stored away at home because we're celebrating our kind of reunion tonight, and I was looking at the team photos from both teams, and Georgia Ryan, playing wing defence here, played for Yarrawonga in that Grand Final. I had no idea.
Yeah, she did used to play for Yarrawonga, so crossed obviously to Myrtleford, given that she, I think, works out of Wang.
Yes.
Paramedic, I think she is. So, yep.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of trivia that I was unaware of, but of course when I messaged Sarah Sanini to see if she knew that, of course she knew. Probably knows her
date of birth
and telephone number.
And licence plate. Does Sarah Moore.
Another quick goal from the Saints takes them up to 30, leading the Rovers 17. They're just really, the pressure is on this centre pass, and then another one goes just over the sideline. Ryan, hands there from Krolsham trying to get around. It's a contact call, high on the transverse. Myrtleford, 2 passes, and they're in there attacking third. Simpson making Lespina work to get to that circle edge.
Great ball into Hanrahan in that front position. Not able to sink it, so she'll get another shot here. Wobbly post, but no, makes no mistake. So Myrtleford out to 31, leading the Rovers 17 in Myrtleford centre, and Botter quick off that line to Lespina.
Great
well
read.
watched to come through and back herself on that one, and they move it quickly. Great vision by Miller to find Krolsham in the pocket.
Undefended as well. She managed to find the play with no one there. And again, finding that connection, and well finished there from Sammy Crelcham, bringing the Rovers up to 18. Reed to Miller, to Ryan.
Georgia Ryan,
coming
fantastic
through.
intercept, very clean.
Simpson in wing defence for the Rovers tries to replicate at the other end. Instead, it's a contact. Laspina to Hanrahan. Murray trying her best. Botter. Great goal there from Sally Botter, taking the Saints up to 32. Hughes to Botter to Laspina, high ball. And for Laspina and Hanrahan, they're used to this attacking combination as well. An old Corowa match up in there, although in the time we've played at Corowa, Soph may have been down the defence end for the most part.
She would have been,
finishing with a goal.
Yeah, I don't know if they would have played attack together, except maybe at training the odd time perhaps. Miller chases it down the pocket and keeps it in, but can't find a teammate. No, so Myrtleford on the attack. Botter, no one home, eventually finds Laspina on the circle edge. She has to go back.
Fuller
Hughes, great give and go.
Fulton and Murray then double teaming Hanrahan and forced the extra pass from the Saints, but it doesn't matter. Botter finishing with a lovely connection there to goal. They're up to 34, leading the Rovers 18 here on the McRae Motors scoreboard.
And Hanrahan 2-on-1 there, but able to pull that ball in really strongly. Well passed ball too by the placement of that. So Rovers centre, they're trailing 18 goals, 35 here. The score's blowing out in this quarter in the Myrtleford Alpine Saints' favour. But Beck Crelsham with the ball under the post. Another one on the scoreboard for Rovers. Now move to 19. Second quarter action brought to you by Cavalier Homes.
We're into the 11th minute of play here on the McRae Motors time clock. Split circle there from the Saints attackers. Hanrahan netting the 36th goal for the Saints. Reed to Miller, and well done from Reed there to get Ryan out of the way. And the space opens up in the circle for Sammy Crelcham. So some great attacking play from the Rovers, and that was an awkward falling out of court. Hope she was okay. Heavy land there from Sammy Crelcham, but she's up and she's in their way to Hughes. Long ball to Ryan. Oh, the hands of Miller.
Yeah, great hands. Couldn't quite pull it in, but a good tip. Hanrahan nails another one, so she's up to 37. Hughes with the centre. Laspina to Hughes. Stepping on was Hughes. She was unbalanced, but managed to give the pass on before the footwork call. And Laspina finding Hanrahan in at the post. Takes them up to 38 here on the McRae Motors scoreboard. Miller, great high ball to Coach Reed. Back to Miller. And the ball into Sammy Crelcham. Long bomb. Makes no doubt, takes them to 20, trailing the Saints 38. Hughes. There's a time call. From the umpire there, just delaying play call, I think. Hanrahan takes the Saints up to 39, and that's already 20 goals from the Saints in this second quarter, which is quite hefty in a second quarter, isn't it? Yeah, it is, yeah. They've really put the foot down this quarter and have been able to score quickly, which is what I think the purpose of putting Sophie in there is what I was trying to get out earlier in the podcast.
We all have those days. Mine are more often than not. Oh, Reed.
Beautiful
intercept. Two hands outstretched, and that was just a case of the Saints players really probably standing still. No one coming forward and way. Can't quite get up.
Crelsham just contacting Tina Way. He was on the ground on her way through. So Saints able to go forward here. Georgia Ryan with the ball on the sideline. An obstruction. Oh, no, sorry.
Contact call.
No,
off
contact
the
down
ball,
the court a bit, yeah.
So Murray to Fulton. Miller presenting, but it goes to Crelcham behind, and Sister Sammy was presenting front, and the ball just went through. Piazza ball on the baseline. Gives to Ryan. Piazza. Great defence again from Reed. Reed and Hughes have been really side by side in that attacking and defensive play through this midcourt. Piazza to Hughes and a little bit too
well
much
watched
on
by
it.
Reed. Saw that come through your hands and picked that up nicely. So Reed, great give and go, finds circle edge. Just needs to stay balanced and upright here to make sure that ball finds a player under the post, and Beck Krelshine makes no mistake with a beautiful goal. So takes Rovers to 21, trailing the Myrtleford Saints 39 here on the McRae Motors scoreboard.
Better scoring rate from the Rovers today as well. I think they'll be.
Yes.
They haven't lost too much attacking ball as the Hanrahan takes up to 40. We've got a little Saint joining us in the commentary box.
She's coming to have her say.
Bottom pants. As Miller in wing attack. High ball into Bert Krelsham, a little bit too much on it. Piazza, great hands over. Ryan tiptoeing the circle, back as well. Bounce pass goes in from Miller. Long ball again. Penalties set. Reefs out, but off the hand of Way. Contact call on the way down. Deemed by the umpire, so Sammy Krelsham will have a shot here after the siren for half-time and takes the Rovers up to 22. So our half-time score is 40 to the Saints, leading the home team, the Rovers, 22. This is O&M Live Netball, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Recognise this face? I've been in more beer ads than anyone else, and all I'm told to do is smile, sip and laugh a bit.
0.0% alcohol.
This changes everything.
I can swim! I can upgrade heavy machinery! I can actually drive! Onward, beer drinkers!
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
From entertainment to news and subscriptions in between. Manage select subscriptions in one place with Optus SubHub. Streamline your paid subscriptions and save up to 10%. It starts with yes.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Welcome back to O&M Live Netball, brought to you by McRae Motors. We've seen the first half being played out at the WJ Finlay Oval, Wangaratta. The Rovers, the home team, trailing the Saints 22-40, and a pretty high scoring first half, really, and good for the Rovers to just keep this scoreboard ticking over. I think they'll be happy with that. They've had some really dynamic passages of attacking play, but they've also made a couple of crucial errors, a couple of breaking calls, and just a couple of quick turnovers of ball, and the Myrtleford Saints have capitalised on those.
Yeah, I would agree, Ree, but I think you're right. There's been some transitions off their centre passes that have been really quick and dynamic and clean, and I think they'll be really pleased with some of those as well. So they can certainly take a lot out of that quarter.
We can see a couple of positional changes that will be swung in from the Rovers. Bri Simpson goes from wing defence to goal defence. Sophie Larkin rejoins the court in wing defence. And for the Saints, Piazza stays in goalkeeper, Hanrahan into goal shooter. I thought that swap may have happened, but Bros comes onto the centre, taking the youngster Hughes to the bench. It would be remiss of us to mention the Wangaratta duo in Hannah Grady and Izzy Newton lining up against the North Albury Hoppers today for their 200th game at the Magpies. And I think the best thing about this story is that they're playing their 200th game on court together.
Yeah, it is a lovely story. They've come through the juniors together and played all the way, up the grades to A grade together, and both been wonderful representatives for the Ovens and Murray as well. Great players, but great people off the court as well. Really strong competitors, and it's a really fantastic achievement. Dual premiership players. Not many people get the title of being able to.
Wade comes through with a screamer. She read that from a mile away.
Hannah Grady-esque. Speaking of Hannah Grady, but yeah, not many people can claim the title of dual premiership player and back-to-back premiership players as they were in 18 and 19, and it's a credit to them that they've been able to do it, and still sitting at the top. They're second on the ladder this year, and they played in a grand final last year, and they're every chance to certainly do it again this year, and it's a great milestone for them to reach. And interestingly, fun fact, Hannah Grady played her 150th against North Albury.
Oh, there you go.
So I remember going and watching that, so she's lining up in her 200th against them as well. So.
Nice touch, but yeah, congratulations to them both, and as well to Maddie Lloyd at Lavington playing her 100th A-grade game there at the Panthers, and Tony Wilson medalist, and just a seasoned campaigner, and Chip, as she's aptly known, provides a few laughs both on court and off court. So
usually
massive kudos to Maddie, and I know that the Panthers girls will be wanting to get the win there against the Bulldogs to really celebrate that, as the Rovers have the opportunity to get their first goal of this third quarter, but it just bounces out. Ryan to Bros, and the obstruction call brings the ball back to Ryan.
And in that game, Marie Lavington with a 10-goal lead, leading Wodonga 38-28. In other games, Yarra popped out to a 25-goal to 21 lead against the Raiders, so only 4 goals in that. And Wangaratta with a 24-goal to 18 lead against North Albury. So there's some pretty tight games going on. There's not a lot in it, which is just fantastic to see.
Footwork call puts the ball back in the Saints' hand. Penalties just reset. Oh, Miller just pulled out at the last second there. And Hanrahan all alone under the baseline, on the baseline, and takes the Saints up to 44. Interestingly, I wonder, Tam, if the Saints, we spoke about scoreboard pressure and wanting to attack quickly. They are actually sitting 6th in terms of ladder percentage for their attacking. They're attacking 4 goals. So I found that really interesting. So sitting 6th behind Albury, who are in 6th place, but they have the best defensive record of the competition. So I wonder if they're trying to really up this 4 percentage and get that number of goals on the board.
Well, that's right. And look, it's going to be an interesting dilemma for them when they come up against some of the top teams is, do they go for scoreboard pressure early and start Sophie in goals to try and get that, or do they start her in defence? Because they seem to be able to score a lot quicker with her in goals, but obviously they lose that defensive pressure with her out of defence. However, Beck is a really accomplished defender, so I think they can put a lot of faith in her in defence. So I think it probably depends who they play. At this stage they're going to come up against Lavington if the ladder doesn't change too much in that first final. And I saw them against Lavington. Sophie was outstanding against Christine, but having said that, Beck went against her in the last quarter and she got some really great turnovers too. So, it's a dilemma they have, and they have to sort of work out. And so it may depend on who they play against. They may go for Sophie to start on Christine, build a bit of pressure, and then swing her.
Oh, great goal
if
there.
If they're getting some ball, plenty of ball, then move her to shooting. But yes, it's certainly something they, I guess, have to look at and then work through.
Botter connects with Hanrahan. Murray just tripping over her own feet there. Simpson jumps a little bit too early and knocks that ball out of Hanrahan's.
And Soph actually went and had a run last week in the Goulburn Valley League while Myrtleford weren't playing, so she was able to do that. It's certainly within the rules to be able to do that. So went and had a run with Shep Bears, I think it was, alongside Jane Cook.
Ex-Ovens and Murray player,
yes.
Kim Borger,
Kim
who's come out of the
Borger.
Vixen squad.
Popped over there and played. It was a
great attacking play there for the
certainly
Rovers.
a handy little lineup that the Shep Bears put together, and they knocked off the top side Myrtleford too. So, that gave her a bit of a run, and she said it was really interesting to play in that competition. They played Myrtleford, who were the top side over there, and she certainly didn't think that they were any stronger than our top five by any stretch. So
Myrtleford coached by Di Henslow, who coached the Goulburn Valley Interleague team, both for our standalone game and the association champs. So a lot of experience, a lot of girls that contest in the VNL as well. And Sammy Crelcham nails the 25th goal for the Rovers. Third quarter action thanks to McRae Motors. Simpson coming through, just a contact call there. Hanrahan connects with the goal, and it is a little bit scary to think that we're going to start talking about finals, but round 13, it means we've only got 5 games after today's game to finish off the season, and at this point it really is only Albury that can contest for that 5th position. I did do a little bit of a tracking of who plays who over the final round. So Albury have the bye today, then they play Wang, Magpies, Rovers, Raiders, Wodonga and Lavi. So you'd think for them that potentially Rovers and Wodonga are winnable games. Wang, Raiders and Lavi will be incredibly hard for them to capitalise over. Lavi in 5th position have Wodonga today. They have Yarra next week, North. They have Wang, they have Raiders and Albury to finish. So that is a very, very tough run into finals, which isn't a bad thing. But Myrtleford play Rovers today, Wodonga next week, Yarra, North, Wang and Raiders. So equally as tough for them, a very similar draw for the 2 teams in 5th and 4th and 5th. So that's where the change could come. And then Raiders, Yarra potentially with the easiest run home. Raiders today, Lavi next week, Myrtleford, the bye. Then they play Rovers and Wodonga to finish. So, and then Wang, North Albury, Raiders, Lavi, Myrt, and they finish with the bye, which I don't think finishing in second. They like having that bit of a bye with the week off before the first week of finals. So very interesting. Raiders, Yarra today, North, Wang Magpies, Albury, Lavi, and Myrtleford. So I think all of those games, it'll be very interesting to see who wins and loses.
Yeah, look, I can't see Albury making it. I think they're really going to, just having seen them, I'm not sure that they, I think their loss to North Albury probably was their last opportunity.
With that run home as well.
Yeah, with that run home, I think Lavi last round and Raiders and Wang, I can't see them getting over those 3 sides. Rovers and Wodonga are 2 wins that they may get. But having said that, Wodonga are putting up a good show today against Lavington. So, I think Albury are probably looking at a rebuild. And I think probably need to look at their last few games at playing some of the young ones and getting some court time into them. Looking at, blooding a shooter in Sky's absence. Who are they going to put in there with Lily Howe? Lily Howe won't be there next year, so obviously that you'd be playing her. But who's the GA they're going to put in there? Marnie Hill is running that position at the moment, but she's not a long-term option, I don't think, in A grade. So do they put court time into Lani Wall? Is there another shooter out of their 17s that they can be putting court time into? In preparation for next year and thinking ahead. So I think for me, Albury, that's what I would be doing if I was them. I think that the top 5 is set. I think Wang and Raiders are probably going to finish 2nd and 3rd. Who finishes 2nd, who finishes 3rd, I don't know. Doesn't matter. They play each other first round. Myrtleford and Albury in that 4th and 5th. And again, who finishes 4th and who finishes 5th, it's not going to matter. I think they're going to play each other.
Because Myrtleford are still 2 games behind Raiders. So that's a lot to make up with the very similar run homes for each of the teams. So I think it'll be interesting because at the moment I don't think a lot of those games you can really pick succinctly and they're a definite win on the day.
No.
Particularly in those top 5 teams. They're all contesting really well, as are the Rovers. They're keeping this scoreboard ticking over, or the attacking ticking over, and Sammy Crelcham connects with goal, taking
look,
the Rovers
potentially,
up to 27.
Depending on what happens, that last round game, Myrtleford and Raiders, it could come down to that if things, go Myrtleford's way. But look, I think this stage, I think the 5's set, and I think, potentially the positions are set, or the first week in finals is the games are probably set at this stage. But anything could happen, so we will wait and see with bated breath.
Defensive pressure there from Hanrahan.
But I think, look, it's interesting. You look at like Yarrawonga finished with Rovers and Wodonga. I wouldn't like that run home. I think you would want some tougher games, and Wang with the bye leading into finals again. I'm not sure I'd want that. I think Myrtleford probably have the good run. Wang and Raiders, yes, that's tough, but I reckon you want tough games going into finals. You want to be able to test yourself in those tough games. And Raiders too, they've got a good run. Lavy, Myrtleford in the run into finals, because you have to be prepared to play the tough games. You have to be prepared to back yourself in the tough games. And I think you don't want easy games going into finals. So I think Raiders and Myrtleford probably have a good run home.
Very interesting, and over the next few weeks we'll touch on the ladder, how the ladders are playing out in those B and C grade and in the 17s and under 15s. But it's the Saints here with a very comprehensive lead, 56 playing 28
and
on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
And speaking of games, Yarrawonga with only a 2-goal lead now over Raiders, so that game has really come back. And Wang with only a 5-goal lead over North Albury. So North Albury really putting in a fantastic showing against Wangaratta there today, which is great for the competition too.
Piazza coming out for the ball out of the circle. Reed connects with Crelcham. Beautiful goal there from Sammy Crelcham, takes them to 29. Laspina, high ball into Hanrahan. Both Rovers defenders having a crack, but Botter,
great
mid-range
goal
and a great goal there to finish for the Saints. They are up to 58 here. Way
she went hunting
to come through as well. Reed calls for that ball down, putting it down. Sammy and Bet Crelcham connecting for the 30th goal here for the Rovers, trailing Myrtleford 58. Bros, that was a great drive from her, and good to just keep driving through. Great connection to Hanrahan. Another smooth goal there from Soph Hanrahan. Miller just getting a little bit stuck on this sideline closest to us, but she went and found space. Oh,
yeah, good.
Piazza saw it again, and she, instead of putting her hands out, she confused the space, knowing that no one was behind for that ball.
Yeah, Miller did a good job of clearing, then coming back to it then, didn't she? She recognised that. And so Piazza finds Ryan the sideline. She's very low with that ball, but able to get up high and find Bros. Great bounce pass by Laspina, finds Botter in top of the circle.
We'll have another stab at goal with Murray standing out of play and can't quite connect. Simpson doing her best, and it's the contact call coming over the body from Hanrahan. Murray to Simpson. Again, Myrtleford really pressing through this centre court. Here Rovers and Reid.
Good vision to find Gracie Reid deep on the transverse. And the footwork call there.
Just wrong-footed, wasn't she, to land?
It was too quick.
I think she knew straight away too, but it was just that awkward
And
land and Botter.
just a nicely weighted pass finds Botter in the pocket, and she's able to find Hanrahan with a really strong take there. Botter elects to take the pass and delivers it low to Hanrahan. She's very deep under that post. She has to step back to take the pass, and they move to 60, leading the Rovers 30 here on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
Laspina to Hanrahan. Oh, if I could split like that,
Yeah,
takes half the circle away. Takes them up to 61. Reid with centre. Miller just holding nice and strong at the top of this circle.
I've been impressed with the way she's come on and played with authority and confidence. She certainly hasn't presented as a first-timer, which is great to see.
Rovers up to 31 here on the Cavalier home scoreboard, trailing the Saints 61. Hanrahan opting for the refeed, and Laspina pretty much passes it to Murray. Well watched from the youngster. Throw in incorrectly taken, I think, which puts the ball into the Rovers' hand. Reid finds Crelcham. Miller.
And I have no doubt tomorrow is the first stage of the North East State Titles selections for 17s and 15s. So no doubt Ellie Miller will be present at that.
As time is called for three-quarter time, the Saints with the 30-goal lead here, 61 playing 31. This is O&M Live Netball, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Recognise this face? I've been in more beer ads than anyone else, and all I'm told to do is smile, sip and laugh a bit.
0.0% alcohol.
This changes everything.
I can swim! I can upgrade heavy machinery! I can actually drive! Onwards, beer drinkers!
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
From entertainment to news and subscriptions in between, manage select subscriptions in one place with Optus SubHub. Streamline your paid subscriptions and save up to 10%. It starts with yes.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Welcome back to O&M Live Netball. Myrtleford Alpine Saints with the 30-goal lead here going into this last quarter against the Rovers. And the Rovers again swung back to different lineup again for this final quarter. Simpson's gone into centre. Fulton's come back on into goal defence. Larkin staying in wing defence. Wing attack, Ellie Miller battled well in her debut out at wing attack. Really held strong and nice and calm. It's Piazza for the Saints. Contacts Krelcham. Great long-range goal. Some shooters would be very envious of the ability that the sisters have at long range.
Oh, absolutely.
Nice for the Rovers to get the first goal of this fourth quarter, which has just blown out. And when you're ticking the scoreboard over at 20 goals a quarter, as the Saints have, that tends to happen. But the Rovers just keep contesting as Hanrahan finds the goal for the Saints.
Yeah, look, absolutely. I mean, it would be one of their biggest scores, I would think, too.
And for the Saints, Hughes has re-entered the court onto wing defence, taking Georgia Ryan to the bench for a rest. The ball's pulled back to Piazza in goalkeeper. Way to Hughes, long ball to Lespina.
Oh.
Baseline to Botter.
Botter did well to
back
kick that in. Hanrahan not able to grab the ball. It was flicked in by Botter, and Lespina has it on circle's edge and able to find Hanrahan under the post there and makes no mistake that time.
Fourth quarter action thanks to Martin's group. Aubrey. High ball to Botter. Pass to Hanrahan. Murray got a hand to it. Hanrahan makes no doubt, taking the Saints up to 64, leading the Rovers 32. And in the other games, Tam?
Yeah, we've got a game in our hands at Yarrawonga, leading Raiders 38-35. Was back to within a goal there before, so Raiders just are not going away and really taking it to Yarra, which is great to see. Lavington have skipped out to a 57-goal to 44 lead against Wodonga, but again, Wodonga will be happy to be staying fairly close to them. And North Albury trailing Wang 30 goals to 39. So only 9 goals in. So I would, I think that's probably...
it's probably a very evenly matched game there as well, particularly when you bring Em Brown back into the team, just to bring that connection from their attack to defence.
Yeah, and Grace Hay on Amanda Yamansky would be another really...
They train together?
Yep, would be another really strong lineup as well. So hard to see if... I can't see Amanda playing. Amanda only played a half last week against Yarrawonga because of her VNL commitments. She was only allowed to play that, so we're assuming she's back to a full game today.
Yeah, because they played on the Sunday, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Played,
yeah, but again,
probably a midweek game this week.
Yeah, I think
Hanrahan does well to keep the ball in. Sorry for the Saints there on the baseline.
But yes, I think Grace provides a great matchup there for North Albury on Amanda that probably a lot of other teams don't have. So she would be giving North lots of opportunity.
Absolutely. Saints underway again. Hanrahan swings to Bros. Cross-court ball to Lespina.
Oh, great fake there by Lespina. Just couldn't pull in by Hanrahan.
Contest, and come up with the scraps, putting the Rovers in the attack. So they're not going away, the Rovers. They're playing out these 4 quarters.
And that's a challenge for them. We've spoken before about the young team getting 4 quarters out of them, and that's what the coaching staff will be asking them, to continue to play out and stay mentally in the game for 4 quarters. Maintain your skill level, maintain the intensity for 4 quarters. That's the challenge.
Oh, threading of the needle there from Reid.
Gracie Reid. Tina Wade just missing it.
Great finish, taking the Rovers up to 35, trailing the Saints 66 here on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. Bros there tiptoeing the top of the circle, but the ball went into Hanrahan.
Just plucking that out from over the top of Murray. So Murray absolutely leaving nothing to chance here as Simpson takes the ball for the Rovers. Krelsham. Oh, well kept in there. Gracie Reid.
Beck Piazza coming through front position. Oh, interesting call. Maybe the angle that the umpire was at, so from where we were, it looked like Piazza had two hands in front position, but the angle of the umpire may have been different, and Laspina does well off balance there. Gives to Bros. Cross circle ball. Larkin trying to put Laspina off, but it doesn't, and Hanrahan 68. The Myrtleford Saints are up to here on the X-Ray Group scoreboard.
And a shout out to Dave and Rach Sinclair. If they're tuning in, they might not be tuning in live over in the UK.
Might be a bit early.
They might watch it on replay a bit later on. Watching Liv play. 3 o'clock in the morning over there, so they might not have got out of bed for that one.
I don't know, they might not have gone to bed yet.
No, that's right. They might just be getting home.
The nightlife? No. How great. Lots of locals over in abroad at the moment. And this time last year I was flying out to Bali. All the memories are starting to come up.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Bit disappointing, but at least the sun's shining.
Bit of sun.
Today, the Krelsham sisters connecting. Oh, deserved a goal.
Just roll around the ring.
Great rebound there. Way had the flick in, but it landed in the hands of the Rovers, and they finish off. They're up to 38 here on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. Fourth quarter, thanks to Martin's
Good footwork by Laspina. Given goes on. She has ball and great feed to Hanrahan under the post. So Myrtleford just continue moving on to 70 goals, leading the Rovers 38 here on the X-Ray Group scoreboard.
As the Rovers play it from one side of the circle to the others. As the goal connects, they are up to 39 here on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. A breaking call. Fulton to Larkin. Kelsey Wilson missing from the Rovers today?
Yeah, look, she's in Melbourne, based in Melbourne, so I think that her availability is a bit inconsistent, which is a shame, but obviously it's great when they have her. I know she played the other week against Raiders, because I had some feedback that she played a really great game that game. So yeah, obviously they're really lucky when they have her, and really notice her absence when she's not here. But yeah, she's another really great player for them when she's available.
That Krelsham undefended. Just sinking and making sure that this 30-goal lead isn't going out any further. It is 70 plays 40 here in this fourth quarter, thanks to Martin's Group Aubrey, and Hanrahan takes us up to 71. Time is called.
And Tina
Way about halfway into this final quarter. Hughes dropping into goal defence. Ryan out to wing defence.
And just in other games, Yarra have really put the foot down. They've skipped out to a 45 to 36 goal lead. So they've moved away from Raiders there. Look like they'll get the win in that game. And Lavington moved away from Wodonga. Wangaratta are leading North 42 to 33. So North certainly staying in touch and not letting them get away too much, but probably late in the game there, and unlikely to catch them at this stage.
Great feed there from Laspina to Hanrahan. Just ticking this scoreboard over, but they'll be really happy with this attacking level on the board. Bryce Simpson in centre for the Rovers. Cross court to Fulton on the reset. Reid to Sammy Krelsham. It's a contact call under the post. The goal is good, bringing the home team up to 41, trailing the Saints 73 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. Ryan to Botta to Hanrahan. Snetty. Another nice goal there is Sophie Hanrahan to 74. We spoke about interesting runs. Next week we'll be at Lavington taking on Yarrawonga. So that was a really interesting game last time we broadcast. Yarra came out absolutely flying and had that 10-goal advantage for the most part of the game, and then Lavington just chipped away as the game went on, and all of a sudden it was down to 4 goals, and then the buzzer went, and had it gone for a couple more minutes, possibly the Panthers could have ended up with the win. So it'll be interesting to see the lineups of both teams and just how that plays out.
Yeah, it was a really interesting game. Yarra sort of almost just took their foot off the pedal in the last quarter, thinking whether they thought they were home and hosed. Or I also think Lavi probably went back to their best combination in the last quarter, and I think they probably have been a bit more consistent with that since then. Obviously, Christine's back now, and look, she'll be getting stronger each week in her movements, I would imagine. I haven't seen her play for a couple of weeks, but you would think that her knee would be improving and her movement would be improving. So, yeah, look, because she will have her work cut out for her. Hannah and Kyla, we saw the way that they worked last time and put doubt in the feeders' minds and really pressured those outside passes. So they're going to have some really tough work the mid-quarters to do next week. So it'll be a fantastic game, I think, to see. And as you said, to see how the lineups happen. I mean, Lavington are without Sarah Meredith. She hasn't been lining up for them, so they will really miss her because she's been really instrumental in their defensive end. So a different lineup in their defence and how they withstand the attacking pressure of Sarah Moore and a Maddie Allen and Kelly Chappelle. That will be the test for them, I think. Can Kate Mastronardi, Taylor Ferber, can they shut down the Yarrawonga shooters? Because I think probably there's no bigger challenge at the moment.
Talking about shutting down shooters, Myrtleford just keeping on the attacking pressure. 79 goals they're out to. Rovers on 43, so still reasonably scored have the Rovers, but the Saints just ever increasing as we're into the last couple of minutes here on the Cavalier Homes time clock. Fulton to Krelcham. Bet Krelcham under the post for the 45th goal for the Rovers. Lily McKimmy's taken the court in the Wodonga A grade.
Yeah, so they've stayed within.
youngster.
Yeah, so they're back within 9 of Lavington. So they've had a really great showing there today against Lavington, which is great signs for them. And again, another side who haven't had a great season in terms of wins, but some young players and really we're wanting to be building towards future seasons because their 17s and their 15s have had outstanding seasons and they've got some brilliant young players coming through. And their lower grades, I think their B grade are doing really well. So, it's great for their club that they've got some strong young players coming through.
Saints up to 80 here, leading the Rovers 45 in the last few minutes. As the Rovers score a turnover, Ryan tries to capitalise. Great eyes from Reed. And a little bit too much for it. Ball's coming over. Botter connects with Hanrahan. And she finishes the 81st goal for the Saints. You hear the call of no goal. You can hear from the Saints. Can they capitalise here? Can they get it down into their attacking line? Ryan to Bros. Refeeds, resets. High ball into Hanrahan. Fulton does well not to contact on that ball, and 82. The Saints are out to here. Not long to go. Botter. Murray, great contest in the air. As the Saints are out to 83, probably the highest score in an Ovens and Murray game for a very long time as well. Tam Matthews.
Yeah, it would be in A grade. It would certainly be, one of the highest scores I've seen for a while. In A grade. I can think of a couple of the 17th teams who Raiders and Wodonga, they put up some pretty big numbers when they get going, but in A grade we don't tend to see the blowouts like this.
As the ball just goes to Hanrahan. 84, the Saints on the X-Ray Group scoreboard leading the Rovers. 45, Piazza. Another touch. She's been instrumental in defence for this lead for the Saints. Oh, great pull in there.
Oh, the long bomb.
Doesn't quite come off. Needs to take a few lessons off Sammy and Beck down the other end.
I'd reckon. That was a very ambitious shot, wasn't it?
Oh, Evie Hughes coming through with a defensive.
She's had another great game, and I just think the more court time she gets into her, the stronger she's becoming, the more confident she's becoming with her ball release.
Particularly in that first quarter in centre, and we have time, no goal, signalled by the umpire for the Rovers. So the Saints, a comprehensive win here, 84, defeating the Rovers 46, as Tam Matthews just waits while the players shake hands, and she'll get our player of the day. A big thank you as always to our major sponsor, McRae Motors, Cavalier Homes, the X-Ray Group, Martins and 777 Automotive. Been round 13 and the Saints well on their winning way with an attacking play. Tam Matthews gets Beck Piazza, our player of the day. Great win.
Yeah, it was. Obviously the positions on the ladder I don't think reflected the way Rovers played today, so no, we're happy to take the win.
Absolutely, and we spoke about perhaps scoreboard pressure. I was looking at the ladder and saw that you guys best defensive scores, but wanting to get some real for percentage on the board. Was that part of the aim today as well?
Yeah, I guess just trying to get a bit of flexibility in the squad, and Sophie's a superstar and there's nothing she can't do. Today proves, but yeah, it's just nice to have some flexibility. We've got 8 awesome players that can do whatever is needed on the day.
Absolutely, and we spoke about the youngster in Evie Hughes as well. She started the game phenomenally in centre, and then to see her drop into goal defence in that last quarter must be really nice for you as probably an experienced campaigner to see some of those youngsters from Myrtleford really stepping up.
Yeah, absolutely. Evie's first year in A grade this year, and she can step on the court at half-time or start the game and just lift the pressure, and her feed into Sophie today was phenomenal. So yeah, really happy with how she's developing.
And how do you like it, Beck, being able to swing back to defence? Does it take the pressure off a little bit, or what do you prefer, or you don't mind?
If I'm standing at any end of the court and watching Sophie do her thing, I'm happy. But no, honestly, just the 8 players we've got, it's just an enjoyable team to play with, and it doesn't really matter at this point where anyone's playing. We're just enjoying the ride at the moment.
And as you said, coming into finals, having some flexibility and being able to change your team around depending on matchups is going to be really important depending on who you play, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The competition's obviously pretty tight this year. We've lost 2 games by 1 goal, so there's a lot happening, and the next half of the year is going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, good luck, Beck Piazza, our player of the day today. Congratulations, and go and enjoy the win.
Thanks
well done,
no worries,
Beck.
Thanks. Tam Matthews, a great kick out there from the Saints, a really comprehensive win from them. And in the other games, do we know the final scores there? That's the beauty of Netball Connect.
Look, isn't it great? Technology is a wonderful thing, yeah. Look, Lavington, 63 goals, defeating Wodonga 55. So I think Wodonga would be incredibly pleased with that result. Staying well and truly in touch with Lavington there, and that's a big stat from Wodonga too. I think that
another
those
high
numbers.
Scoring game.
It is a high scoring game. Certainly stayed in touch there, and then Yarrawonga got the job done by over Raiders by 10 goals in the end, 50 goals to 40. So I would suggest that experience in the last quarter when the job needed to get done, they were obviously able to just put the foot down and run away with that there. And in the last game, Wangaratta 43 over North Albury 35. So another 8-goal win there. So again, not massive wins, despite the fact that Wangaratta are sitting, second on the ladder, and North Albury are 7th. So,
fantastic,
I think
pose as well for this last third of the season. And as Beck Piazza alluded to, then she said position-wise, it didn't reflect how Rovers played, and they still marched a good scoreboard, a good amount of scoreboard pressure, 45 goals from them. This has been round 13. Thanks as always to you, Tam Matthews. Thanks, Trav. We will be at Lavington next week as the Lavington Panthers take on the Yarrawonga Pigeons. This is Oldham Live Netball and an Oldham Live. You won't miss a thing.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Recognise this face? I've been in more beer ads than anyone else, and all I'm told to do is smile, sip and laugh a bit.
0.0% alcohol.
This changes everything.
I can swim! I can upgrade heavy machinery! I can actually drive! Onwards, beer drinkers!
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
From entertainment to news and subscriptions in between, manage select subscriptions in one place with Optus SubHub. Streamline your paid subscriptions and save up to 10%. It starts with yes.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.